There's a great chance if you were listening to radio back in the 1990s, specifically country music radio, you might have heard this little song here. And we're going to go back to the video world for this installment. It's the Y'all Show. And listen in and sing along to this little part of this 1990s hit from Tracy Byrd. I am pain and caviar with RC Cola and a moon pie. Yeah, RC Cola and moon pie. And as a Southerner, does it get much better than that? We're going to talk about that combination because we think that that's something that Southerners love, that marriage of the moon pie and RC. Not as easy to find, sadly, as it might have been back in the old days. But here on the show All About the South, we know about moon pies out of Chattanooga. Did you know that Columbus, Georgia was where RC Cola got its start back in the early 1900s? It says it right on the can, 1905. And for a long time, those two have been marketed together, and Tracy Byrd put it out in a hit song. And we're going to take a moment here and talk a little bit more about it. So if you have gone to country stores, like maybe what you're seeing on the screen there in the past, many of those no longer exist. There's a great chance, especially in the deep South states, that along the way you would have seen both of these things right there on the shelf. They kind of go together. And that store there is a good example, although you see there they got a Coca-Cola painting on the outside of that particular country store. But yeah, look at this old graphic here with my RC Cola and moon pie. Life is mighty good. And that looks like something from the early part of the 20th century, there. I've had RC Colas and I have moon pies. Sadly, I don't think I've ever had them together. So I need to get it together before this, for this installment of the Y'all Show. Look at this Ron Wright fella saying, nothing like an RC Cola and moon pie. Amen to that, brother. I love the overhauls you got on there too. That's another thing that I'm starting to see a lot more people wear overhauls. I like to put an H on the end of them just for emphasis, but yeah, there's people that feel real comfortable. You know, camo is really hip with the youngsters now. And I think, why not overalls? And why not camo overalls for the youngsters? I mean, if they're wearing camo ball caps, camo shirts, pants, I've seen camo swimming trunks at the beach. Nothing surprises me. I mean, you even got a guy wearing seersucker and a cowboy hat here on this particular installment. But when's the last time you had an RC Cola and moon pie? Is that graphic there with the lantern? I was with someone who wrote out that word one time, LATERN, lantern, meaning that they meant lantern. This is a hard language. I get it. But RC Cola and moon pies, we definitely want to give a little love to them here on today's show, All About the South. And look at there in the store, you can find the moon pies. I give Dollar General a lot of credit. They market moon pies in a big way, and I might have seen RC Cola in there together with them. I don't think they're from the same companies, so that might explain a little bit about why they are sometimes are put together with their marketing. But again, here on the show today, we wanted to talk about this unofficial marriage. Together, we're sweeter than sweet tea. That's what it says in the graphic here of RC Cola and moon pie. And just a fun fact here, I like to tell this story from time to time. One of my favorite TV shows, and maybe for many of you out there growing up, was Sanford and Son. And when we published Y'all magazine, you might can see it right here above me. We had 30 issues of that all over the South. One of our issues we had was with an interview I did with Damon Wilson, who played Lamont on Sanford and Son. And he was from Valdosta, Georgia originally. And I had a great interview. I claim it as my best interview I've ever done because it took me a long time to find Damon Wilson, who just passed away here in the last year, sadly. But I ended up tracking him down in Palm Desert, California, and did a great interview, put it out in the magazine. But as a thank you, after we wrapped it up, I got his address. And in addition to a nice Y'all care package that I sent to the big dummy, I included a box of moon pies. And he called me up maybe 2 weeks later to just go out of his way thanking me that he had not had a moon pie since his childhood in Georgia and how much he really appreciated it. And so I'll always look upon moon pies favorably because the big dummy told this big dummy how much he liked them. But yes, Chattanooga with the history of having the moon pies being made there, look out moon pie. Just a great tradition with that in that beloved city. Of course, Chattanooga is also the home of Little Debbie, and they've got a factory just to the east of downtown Chattanooga where they have, I think it's Little Debbie Parkway or something like that. I've seen that road when I've been in the Hamilton County area of Chattanooga, but it's a sweet place to be in Chattanooga. And of course, then the RC Cola, they still make them. I mean, some people may not realize that RC Cola is still in operation. It's just harder to find. And honestly, I think it is Dollar General that I get RC Cola more than any place. And you know why? And I'm confessing something that you're likely guilty of to some degree. They're a lot cheaper. Oftentimes when you go into these chain stores and they've got the soft drinks for sale, the Coke and Pepsi products, both of which have their love, and I love the fact that they're both headquartered and their history and foundation is in the South, with Georgia in Coca-Cola's case and New Bern, North Carolina in Pepsi-Cola's case. But they're always usually at least a couple dollars more for a 12-pack than an RC Cola 12-pack. And so if I'm not wanting to splurge, sometimes I'm guilty of going the cheaper route and getting RC, but it's good. I don't know about y'all, but I like all soft drinks. I like my tea as well. I want to have me a sip so I don't get choked up like I just did. Should have had RC Cola in there, but I got a moon pie around here somewhere. I was not prepared, but maybe you are. This is all about y'all, this show, and we want you to just be so sweet like RC Colas and moon pies when you have a chance to enjoy that. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We're all about the South. But again, the history of RC Cola and moon pie, we wanted to take a moment here and give their proper credit because they have a long history, going back more than 100 years individually and then together with this Southern marriage of the two. Sure makes for many of you a lot of great memories. Maybe not memories with the big dummy Lamont, but you got your own memories, and we're glad to share them. And tell us, we had the graphic up earlier, but y'allshow@y'all.com is how you can reach us here at the show, all about the South. We'd love to get your stories. We're growing, and we're going to just relay all this stuff. And if you've got ideas about any kind of Southern person or Southern story or a Southern business, that's what we're here for, to be a showcase of the South. Until we see y'all again, go enjoy your idea of caviar. That would be an RC Cola and a moon pie.